What's up, you guys? My name is Miguel, here to give you your daily dose of radiation. In today's video, we are covering the goods and bads of working in an emergency room as an X-ray tech. So to give you context, I'm a night shift X-ray tech, been doing it for about 4 years. And I work ungodly amount of overtime for these past 8 months. I've been running 26, 27 nights straight. And prior to that, I've worked a bunch of daytime. So I have a good base of knowledge in both worlds. So I would say some of the good things of working in the emergency room as an X-ray tech is job stability, especially in this economy. The emergency room, it never closes. Regardless of what holiday, weekend, whatever major thing is going on, tornado, hurricane, it is always open. Now granted, you may get stuck up there, but in events, legally they had to have a set amount of techs there, set amount of rotations, set amount of everything. It is very stable, very good gig, I would say, as far as compared to certain gigs where you're kind of dependent on patients workflow, as far as you only get a set amount of patients for mobile radiology. You get a set amount of patients, or certain places where you get paid per the patient, or it's just salary base. Ours is hourly base at the hospital. That could be good or bad depending on your situation. Me, I work a lot of overtime, so I can increase my income outside of the 40 hours. I can probably stack probably another 40,000 maybe extra on top of my regular 40, base pay, whatever. So I enjoy it. It comes with a bunch of shift diffs depending. Obviously night shift is always king. Night shift weekend is always king because you get the most amount of shift diffs. Now I know that night shift is not for everyone. Day shift also has its perks, I suppose. If you are more new to the field and you're just trying to get your window, or just new to the emergency room, daytime might be a little bit more friendly for you because you have more staff, you have more of the veteran techs, typically the Monday through Friday type of gig. They work those shifts, so if anything goes down, you always have them to depend on. Nighttime is a little bit different because it is you and who, at our place, there's only 2 of us. I was fortunate enough when I started off night shift. I was under someone which became our supervisor, so he's very well versed in all the stuff that can happen, so all the if, buts, downtime, if you mess up, how to fix it. So I got a lot of knowledge from him, how to fix stuff and how to work around stuff, little cheat codes and stuff like that. So it helps a lot. Obviously, if you're brand new, night shift can be very intimidated because you get a various amount of variables, and at the end of the day, if someone asks you a question and you look at the other tech and he's then you could get into some situations. I am pretty fortunate enough that I am the one who the other tech looks for as far as advice. I'm pretty well versed, and within a phone call I can call my manager if it's something major, or I can reach out to someone else, like CAT scan or something like that. So it does have its perks. Very stable job. The past 4 years I've been working, as far as cutting down hours, we really didn't experience that. They just trimmed it down to the basic 40 because they wanted to eliminate overtime, so they say. But they have a night position they haven't been able to fill, so I'm working ungodly amount of hours. Obviously PRN, depending on where you work, PRNs always get first div of the extra shifts, and then later on we get the whatever the crumbs of whatever shifts left over. Even daytime still right now has been pretty consistent. Obviously certain times of the years it is more heavy, the workload. Obviously during the flu season, my suggestion is burn your PTO and take all the vacation during that time, because work is very heavy, both nights and days. it is more traffic, more work on you. Obviously, in general, our job isn't too bad. I mean, compared to other hard physical labor job, it isn't too bad. But definitely, I would definitely burn my PTO during the winter season, because everything goes up. Morning ports goes up, a bunch more chest X-ray. Almost everyone who walks in needs a chest X-ray, and it's just more workload. I would say you could probably triple the workload versus during the summertime. So now, some of the downsides of working at the hospital is the limited flexibility. Like there's set schedules. Okay, if you need more of a flexible, go in at a certain time, or I can't make it, or the hospital kind of can't run like that. Like there's a set time you have to be there. There's set shifts you can only work. There's only certain shifts that veteran techs have been there for forever, the golden shifts or whatever they like. It is very hard to acquire these shifts because they're very good, or they just don't come about a lot. So it could be a downside for certain people. If you come in without experience, you kind of get whatever is left of the shift's availability, so you may not get the most optimal shifts, which, I mean, it's understandable. You're at the bottom. Now, as far as holidays, you will, especially if you're full-time, you will have to work holidays. At our place, the way they do it is everyone works like 2 major holidays and then 1 minor holidays. You really don't get to pick them. It's kind of a random, but they try not to slap you on the same holiday twice. If you already did, let's say I worked Christmas last year, they'll try not to slap me on Christmas again. They'll try to kind of switch the holidays. Now, obviously, certain shifts are a little bit different to cater to as far as shift wise. Like, for instance, night shift. It is a little bit different for me to come from not working nights, from being off, and then flipping back on to nights. It can kind of mess with your sleep schedule. Obviously, me and the other techs who work nights have decided to, if it falls on your regular 7 on, 7 off schedule, we'll just work it. Unless one of the techs asks, hey, I need so-and-so holiday off. Can one of the other techs, or can someone else, kind of run it? Usually they'll have they'll try to do one daytime person with the nighttime. So you, as a daytime person, can be stuck working the night times during the holidays, which, I mean, for one day, it's not too bad, I wouldn't say. But there's certain people that do dread working the nights because they get super tired and they feel like they will fall asleep, which, I mean, obviously it is a concern, especially at nighttime, because it comes with a different play. Now, some of the bad sides of being PRN, I suppose, is you gotta work every single slot. If you want to have some set of stable amount of hours, you can't really be nitpicky unless there's enough. You kind of get it. There's this, everyone takes PTO whenever they do, and then that kind of is what you have available. You can't be I'll only work this or I'll only work that and still expect to make your hours. You kind of pick. Now, obviously, there's certain techs who would kind of prefer only night techs, only night shifts, or there's certain techs that only prefer daytime, but it's kind of harder as far as flexibility and stuff like that. Certain places you are obligated to pick up a set amount of hours or a set amount of days or hours. Can't remember what it is for PRN, since I'm not PRN, but that could be good or bad if you work at a hospital, depending. I know there's some people that they just want to work maybe once every Saturday, once a month, because they have a full-time gig. It all kind of varies on hospital, but that could be a downside. Now, full-time, you have a set amount of PTO, but that one also gets burned with sick days, any other reason you would take off, you can burn into your PTO. Not just like, even if there's a holiday and you need that and you don't work it, and you're like one of the Monday through Friday people, and you need that hours made up, they will burn into your PTO. So keep that in mind. Obviously, pay difference between days and nighttime. It is a big difference. I run my schedule 7 on, 7 off, which was my normal one. And if I were to run the same amount of hours during the daytime, I would probably have to pick up an extra two shifts in the daytime just to make up. So there is a big pay difference, significant amount. I mean, the workload is more heavy during the daytime, but there's more techs, and it just all depends on who you work with. Because like, there's a big difference between if you're with a team that everyone kind of does their stuff, the work balance, everything flows and it's good, compared to there's other times where certain techs kind of take the workload, and by the time of you end those shifts, like, you are very, very tired. Like, I'm one of the persons who is pretty good at my job, and I'm very like a go-getter, and I'll carry the team if I have to, so we don't fall back, just because I don't want to deal with any problems from the supervisors. I'll always carry the team, which I've been rewarded extra for doing that always, because like, you'll feel it at nighttime. That is the issue you could run into, especially if it's only you and another tech, and the other tech is kind of lazy. You could fall into a situation where it may not last too long. Especially, I've noticed amongst ladies techs, there's a lot of gossip, a lot of talking behind their backs, and it always ends up with drama. Me as a man, like, every time I've worked with another dude, we've never had problems. Even when I work with another lady, we never have problems. But I have noticed that the lady techs always cause a little bit of drama, even amongst their own peers or the nurses, or there's always a little. So that could come and affect your daily workflow. But I mean, that's just a natural thing that happens anywhere. There's always drama, regardless. Even in the medical field, there's always stuff. You can't escape it. Like even at the hospital, you deal with the same thing you dealt in high school. There's the certain people that are the more popular, more social, and then there's it's the same thing. There's always something like that. But I mean, at the end of the day, we're just here to do our jobs, take the best imaging. But I hope this helps you in your journey of becoming an X-ray, or actually, if you're curious about working in the emergency room, that can help you some of the pros and cons of this beautiful field. I'll keep on making videos. I educate you in both, if you're new to the field, if you're prior to getting into the field in the school, or if you're an active tech and you're curious about the emergency room and some of the stuff we do at the nighttime. I am here to educate you in all aspects. I'm covering literally details that no one on the internet is probably sharing with you, certain niche things that only people in our field, because my lady's a nurse and I feel like their community of nurses is well versed, and there's a lot of people giving information, and not too many people will cover some of the stuff you don't even learn at school and you just don't know. Like at nighttime, you deal with stuff like downtime, pushing images, how to fix stuff when the internet's down. There's so many stuff that unless you're in the actual battlefield and doing it, or you mess up, there's ways, as long as you don't put it online and there's no to report, you can save it. Unless you shot the wrong person, then you can't save that. I'm sorry. But yeah, it's been your boy Miguel. I'm about to clock in and I'm about to go press the button and make some money. And I hope you find this informative, and I'll see you on the next one.